Ahoy! I'm the comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
Ahoy, I'm the comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
Ahoy! I'm the comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
And welcome to Hero Story episode. I didn't rehearse this. Episode 10. I'm gonna say 9.
Nine.
No,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll check.
I actually
Okay, you
don't know.
check. Anyways, I
109.
usually forget the number. JD's usually here to help me with this, but
Ooh.
JD is missing this week.
109, yeah.
Yeah, okay, 109. Okay, cool. I got it. JD is missing this week due to having a lot of school and he's in college, a lot of work, and his comic shop actually didn't get shipments in this week, so he's missing every comic that came out this week. And there were quite a few big issues. We're talking Iron Man #1, Batman issue 99. There's more that I will get to in a second. But for those of you just joining us on a Hero Story is a podcast all about Marvel and DC comic books. We usually start off the episodes by talking about the news of the week. Then we go on to the comics of the week and go from there. But yeah, like I said earlier, the big comics this week are Batman 99 and Iron Man #1. A few other comics are The Amazing Spider-Man Sins of Norman Osborn. There was a Justice League issue 53 that ties into Metal, and so on and so forth. But first we get to the news. Joining me this week are two guests that have been on the show a few times.
I was like, wait, who's he introducing? Us.
Yeah. So Tyler, you can introduce yourself here, comic boy.
I'm Tyler, comic boy. I've been on the show before, I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good intro. And Harper, our Australian.
Yeah, me. Hi.
You can follow him on Instagram and now YouTube as well. Comic
Hey,
Rebirth.
yeah. Oh wow, what a plug.
Yeah,
Nice.
your YouTube is Comic Rebirth, right?
Yeah, it's just the same name.
Okay, sounds good. And Comic Boy, not on YouTube, but he's on Instagram.
Nice.
And he has a podcast himself, The Big Who, that comes out sometimes weekly and sometimes
Never. Yeah.
and sometimes not. So it comes on here until then. Anyways, this is going to be a regular episode, but we have a lot of news to cover. JD actually messaged me today on the day recording, being like, "Hey, I don't think I could record today. We'll just record next week." And I looked at the list of news that I made, and you have to scroll down like on a phone. It's that much. It's like that much news. So I'm like, "Uh-oh." So I got these guys.
I can't believe JD of all people would be like, well, we'll just skip. Actually, no, he's always the one who's like, well, we'll just skip a week, won't we?
Imagine double the news next week, though. Doesn't a lot of shit come out next week?
Dude, it'd be 3 hours of news.
Yeah, and
Like,
even next
isn't
week.
Speed Metal next week? Isn't Daredevil?
Daredevil's next week.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
on that episode too. Yeah, it would be like 4 hours of news because I'd
Yeah.
be causing chaos.
Yeah.
Harper will be on next week too. Yeah, we planned that like a month ago. But anyways, going over the news of the week, we'll start with live action news. She-Hulk was casted, and I forgot to write down the person's name.
Oh, I don't remember either. actually.
Tyler loves her, so he should
I don't
know.
love her. Stop it. Her name is Tatiana Maslany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
that's it.
guys
I don't
know her
anything
from
about
things?
her. I have no idea who she is. I'm just excited because She-Hulk's awesome, and I think if they go the way that they're going, they hired Rick and Morty writers and stuff like that, and it's going to be like a funny comedy
good.
show. It's going to be amazing.
Mhm.
If they
Okay.
go like full on fourth wall breaking She-Hulk, like John Byrne era She-Hulk, it's going to be like the best MCU thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, really? You think it might be the best?
It has potential. I think it does.
Okay.
It has
okay.
potential to be like unique, interesting, and just really funny.
I mean, this news just came out as we're recording. We have all not seen that Boss Logic fan art yet, so we're still in the
Oh,
process.
it's coming.
Of,
It is absolutely coming.
yeah.
Yeah, I
We're-
wonder how they're going to do her. Are they just going to big CGI her?
Yeah,
Or
because
paint
she
her
is.
It's on Disney Plus, so probably.
Yeah.
I believe she's 5'4" in height. So
Ooh,
she's
yeah,
not like
definitely
the.
then.
Yeah, I think She-Hulk is like 6'7".
Oh,
or
she's
something
like,
that.
yeah, she's real tall.
Yeah, so she's like a
She's
giant
also
in a way.
really
so,
buff.
mhm. So they'll probably do CGI and whatnot. She's just playing the regular form, and then they'll just like regular Hulk. Although She-Hulk isn't as
I
huge
wonder
as regular Hulk.
If he's going to be in it. Mark
Ruffalo?
I definitely think he will.
Yeah,
because they're
100%.
cousins. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
100% as well.
100%. I guarantee it. Although I kind of hope he Hulks out. He's not Professor Hulk the whole time.
Oh, agreed.
Not the biggest
I like
fan of
Professor
that,
Hulk.
to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe she Hulks out and then he Hulks out, and they're like, "Hey, this is pretty cool." I think. So we'll have
or
to
it's
wait and
or it's 6 episodes of them both walking around in their Hulk forms, just talking.
yeah.
Well, it
they
also-
said the whole time.
This, I think it's also, what's it called? Like oh my God, it could be like a courtroom comedy, really, because she's a lawyer as well. So there's a lot of potential and just different kind of stuff to do.
Okay,
You know?
it's possible.
Yeah.
My auntie lives in Toronto, and her best friend
Is
got
She-Hulk.
no, he got Orphan Black on there and everything. Like he helped make Orphan Black, so
Oh.
he knows her, which means I kind of know her, which means maybe
Did you have to say it like that?
yeah, probably
I
not
kind
that.
of know her.
Probably. Maybe I will find a way through my source of family and get in contact and maybe ask what she feels of this. Probably not have her on the podcast, but maybe I could get like a cool quote or something with my journalist skills. I went to school for journalism. I graduated.
Try an interview, just like a 10-minute interview that you can whack at the end of the podcast. Be like, and here's my interview
Maybe.
with, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
okay. Yeah, I'm actually legitimately going to try this. Don't get your hopes up. For just the listeners out there, please don't get your
Just
hopes
be
up.
like, hey, you might know me. I'm the comic book hunter on Instagram. You know,
I just
29K,
said 10 minutes
no
ago, I had
flex.
no idea who you were.
I'm Star-Lord, man. She-Hulk, do you guys know when that comes out? Is that next year? I
I think
imagine
they're
next
filming it next year.
year. Okay, so probably
Yeah, I think
maybe
it'll be a while.
holidays, yeah. Something that is coming out this year is WandaVision is confirmed to come out before January, they said. So this year, technically, we have not a lot of info. We have that little mini trailer that's like maybe 10 seconds long. It was in a montage of all things.
Mhm.
So full trailer probably coming soon. I'm guessing winter, like December 25th-ish, around Christmas time is when we'll get this.
That is so funny hearing you say winter, because December for us is blisteringly hot.
Yeah, it's summer for Australia.
It's beach time.
Yeah, well, it's winter here. It's already cold here. Today it's plus 5 Celsius, so it's already getting kind of cold here in Alberta, eh? Going on, more Disney Plus things. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is back to filming, and the actress who plays Sharon Carter was spotted, and the actor who plays the guy that I forget.
That's right.
Patrick the Leaper.
Yeah.
Metro
Yeah.
is a leaper.
So they're both spotted on
Leaper.
set. I don't know if it was confirmed that they would be in this or not. At least I don't remember hearing about it.
I remember hearing from the Weekly Planet podcast that Batroc would be in the show.
Okay.
And I remember they confirmed Sharon Carter as well, but
Yeah, I feel like I knew Sharon Carter, but I didn't know about anyone else. So they're spotted on set. Apparently, they're filming their last episode because this was originally coming out in August. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. And that's kind of it for the live action Marvel news. For DC, apparently Henry Cavill just signed a 5-movie contract to appear Superman for 3 Superman movies and 2 other movies. Now the source.
when did this happen?
Yeah. Okay. So
We got this covered.
no, it wasn't. We got this covered. It was actually a few sources on Reddit were doing this, and a few sources on Instagram from fan pages. Now, straight out the bat, not real, right?
Damn it.
That's what I said too. But the only reason why I think this could be real is because of the fan pages. Now, I know people are like, "Oh, if fan pages report on news," it's like we're all fan pages here, and we don't have sources, but some of them actually do. So a little story that I might not be able to tell here, but I saw the end of Shazam with like the Shazam-ally and everything, like that scene. I saw it before there was even a set picture for Shazam or a trailer or anything, because Real World of Flash. He sent me it. He said, "Look what my source sent me," and he FaceTimed me, and he showed me the video on his computer. Yeah.
Damn,
This was
that's
before
crazy.
a Hero Story podcast was even a thing, I believe.
I think we real quick, I think we forgot something for Marvel.
Oh, did we?
Kang the Conqueror?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Yeah.
But that was a rumor, like a report. Like who said that?
But it was rumored by a lot of people that what is it,
If
Jonathan Majors?
Variety or Deadline said something about it, I'm willing to believe it. But
I don't know who said it, but they said that Jonathan Majors was going to be playing King the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so exciting, bro. Because in my opinion, I think Kang is the best Avengers villain, and I think everyone's like, where are they going next phase? You know, are they going to do Galactus or Doom or something? No, do King the Conqueror. Like, do full out time travel. You just introduced it, go nuts with it. And I
That's
think
a
if
good
they're going
point.
to do that, Kang is going to be.
You want to explain, since
Who
you're
King
the
the
huge
Conqueror
Avengers
is?
fan? Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing about King the Conqueror is that people are, I don't know if you've seen people also speculating on Mr. Fantastic because of this. King the Conqueror is an ancient descendant of Reed Richards. Not ancient, but he's from the future. and he's
Yeah.
a descendant of Reed Richards. He goes back in time and becomes this Egyptian ruler named Rama Tut.
As we all would, right?
Yes, and then slowly becomes King the Conqueror. But there's also a young version of King the Conqueror who goes back in time and tells himself to not become King the Conqueror, and that's Iron Lad on the Young Avengers.
Oh, I know Iron Lad well.
He's Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah.
So you have Nate Richards, who is Iron Lad. You have Reed Richards, who started the Bloodline. And then you have King the Conqueror, who is Nate Richards grown up. You also have Rama Tut. You have this other guy named Immortus. They're all King the Conqueror from different points in time. And that's what's like so cool about this character is that there's so many versions of him.
He's kind of like Reverse Flash in a way.
A little bit, yeah. There's like so many versions of him. He talks to himself. He's always hanging out with himself. He's such a cool villain. He's one of my favorites.
So his powers consist of time
Time
travel.
travel. Yeah.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you could
Yeah.
do cool things with that.
You could do very
My
cool.
immediate thought when I heard that news was I'm absolutely fine if they bring Kang into the MCU because Tony Stark is already dead. And as Tyler will know, Kang is intrinsically tied to one of the worst Tony Stark things ever in history ever.
What is it?
Well, it was revealed that Kang the Conqueror manipulated Tony Stark to be evil this whole time, and then he went crazy, and then they had to bring the young teen version of himself back from the past,
in
from
the 90s.
pre-Kang manipulation, and then
In the 90s, they were like, a good reveal would be that every Iron Man story you've ever read, he was evil during.
Evil, yeah.
Like
So they brought back
terrible
the teen Tony, and then the teen Tony and the old Tony fought, and then old Tony sacrificed his life and redeemed himself, quote unquote, for the people who aren't watching on YouTube. And then Teen Tony took over for like, it was so short. It was like 8 issues. It was ridiculously short. And then they killed him off, and then they brought back an adult Tony that was just like, I was never evil. I don't know what you're talking about.
With Heroes Reborn, what a terrible idea. That's one of the worst.
Heroes Reborn was just so odd too. Like, let's just take Marvel and just put it in another universe, but just don't care.
So stupid.
And everyone thinks they're dead.
Well, I guess I'm not doing that in the MCU, but appearing in Ant-Man, I mean, Ant-Man's a character that basically started time travel in the MCU, so it makes sense he's going to be in 3, but I doubt he'll be like the villain of Ant-Man
I think they're definitely building up the Young Avengers because if we look at WandaVision, she's got her 2 kids there, Speed and Wiccan. Kate Bishop's going to be in Hawkeye. Now we're getting King the Conqueror. He's going to be probably Iron Lad. They're going to introduce as well. I guarantee you that's going to be like a big twist for people that don't know comics. Is like Iron Lad is going to see himself is King the Conqueror, and they're going to be like, "What? How could I have known?" You know, that's
you could have like a scene where maybe we do get Young Avengers because Miss Marvel's coming as well. And, we'll have all these characters maybe fight Kang, and Kang beats them all up, but he spares Iron Lad. Like he doesn't touch him.
Yeah.
And maybe after they're like all the bodies are on the ground, and Iron Lad will look at him, and Kang will look at him. They'll make eye contact, and then he'll teleport away, like time travel away.
Damn, that is so cool.
That would be cool.
I'm sorry, but that description was so cool.
I also don't put it against them to put Spider-Man on the Young Avengers.
Oh yeah, they probably will.
They would do.
Miles would be,
or Miles, or anybody really.
I mean, Miles is a champion at this point, so but I don't.
Champions are basically the new Young Avengers. So
Tom Holland is basically Ultimate Miles at this.
He is Ultimate. He's Miles Morales and Kamala Khan. Like he's very not
combination. He's very not Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But he's 2 other great characters. So yeah, I could totally see him on Champions. Although they might get a lot of backlash because Miles is usually that guy.
I don't think they care.
Right. Anyways, so King of the Conqueror coming soon. Henry Cavill appearing in 5 movies, like I said before. Probably not real, but there's a chance because Instagram fan pages have been...
If that's true, look, I'll be excited. I don't know if I 100% believe it, but hey, Ben Affleck's coming back, and who would have thought that? So
exactly.
Who knows? It's something is so...
Oh, right. That reminds me, too, about that. Sorry. With the Batfleck thing, the guy who said that Henry Cavill's coming back predicted Batfleck returning for Flashpoint 2 months before it was announced.
Damn. Okay. Wow. That changes things a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it's so weird that Ben Affleck is coming back. Jason Momoa is doing another movie under Warner Brothers, and I think John Berg as well. And now Henry Cavill might be returning in the midst of this whole Justice League versus Ray Fisher thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so crazy that they're like, Ray, we support you, dude. Like, yeah. And then they're also like, but we just booked a deal and we're making movies with the guys that you're calling out. Like, so strange to me.
It is weird. With that Ray Fisher thing, I guess that's also news. I didn't write that down to add to the pile, but Jason Momoa came out was just like, man, Warner Brothers, they released the Dune trailer right when I said I stand with Ray Fisher. Screw them, man. And it's like, all right, it's kind of like we're an audience watching like the kid in class argue with the teacher. We're all just all
as a teacher, that's exactly how it feels.
Ray Fisher also said like the day he called out, and this I think actually kind of makes sense. The day he called them out, or one of the days they called them out, was the day they announced the Batfleck thing, which was like the week of Fandom. And he said they were obviously supposed to reveal that at Fandom, and they just did it now so they could kind of undermine what I was saying. And I think that does make a lot of sense.
That does, yeah.
Why would you not wait?
There are some things in this whole thing where I'm skeptical. Like I wait a little bit before I'm just gonna devote myself completely to one side. But when he said that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like I remember when that news was announced and being like, why would that be revealed?
Yeah, fandoms
for your massive event. Like, yeah, I definitely think you're right. And it also seemed like a ploy for Warner Brothers to be like, hey, Ben Affleck likes us. Come on, Ray Fisher, why don't you like us?
That's a good point. And even then, Jason Momoa, he is like, I stand with Ray Fisher, but at the same time, he's like, can't wait for Aquaman 2. So,
and he's also making another movie that's like, it's being produced by John Berg, who is one of the people that Ray Fisher called out. And that's just so... I think it's produced by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Oh. And it's like, those are the people you're calling out and supporting Ray Fisher calling out. But you're going to make a movie with them, like, immediately after?
Man, it's like, going to work.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't mind it too much that he's doing that. Like, I mean, at the same time, he's like, I stand with Ray Fisher, this was wrong. But, like, still my job.
Well, actually, that's probably honestly, Jason Momoa is probably being the most logical about it. He's saying, yeah, look, I didn't like this and I don't agree with it. But at the same time, I'm not going to boot people out of Hollywood and never talk to them again just because of one bad experience that we had. Like, it is bad and they should be held accountable if it's true. But at the same time, you can't like kick Jeff Johns out of a job and cancel him forever because he was a dick one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be way worse.
I don't want to minimize what happened. Like, we weren't there, but like, people are just, and I think people kind of forget that humans are flawed sometimes. But when I hear stories like this, I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me that someone was a dickhead on set. Like, people get really stressed out and sometimes they act really arrogant and these things happen. I mean, any fan of Stanley Kubrick is never going to be like, yeah, he was a real gentleman on sets. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just...
So, yeah, it's a disappointing situation, but I also feel like people are talking about it like it's the end of filmmaking and it's the worst thing that's ever happened. And I'm like, it is bad. And I feel bad for Ray, especially if it is true, which... why would he lie about it, I guess? Yeah. But at the same time, like you said, I don't want to minimize it, but yeah, it could be worse. It really is this thing where it feels like it's built on the back of other bigger things that have happened in the industry. And it's kind of jumping on that to try and, I don't know, explain why Justice League was a crap movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Just everyone pointing fingers being like, no, you made Justice League bad. No, you made Justice League bad. It's like, okay. No one cares anymore.
You hear stories of behind the scenes for movies and shows where people were being bribed or robbed or assaulted, and the Ray Fisher's like, man, they were mean to us. It's like, man, I have a job. That was the thing. Mean to me.
That was the thing. I had a couple people not be a fan of me for saying this, but someone pointed out that one of the previous execs at Warner Brothers used his position to like basically bribe women into having sex with him just for roles in movies, which is undeniably awful. Using your power to create situations like that, it's just awful. Ray Fisher retweeted that and he said, really makes you think what else they're up to. And I took issue with the idea of Ray Fisher comparing Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns being like, Ray, do your job, to sexual assault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get what he's
That's
saying. He's
bad.
trying to compare like the power dynamic where it's people in power using their power to belittle people. But
Of
those
course.
to me weren't comparable. And I'm like, to me, that was just kind of virtue signaling people to fly to his cause by referencing something that was far worse.
Hmm. Of course. Yeah. And that was really bad. Too.
Yeah, man, I'm going to get raked over the coals for saying that.
I don't know why you would, because that makes it makes sense that you shouldn't compare these two things. Yeah. What happened on Justice League was bad, but it could have been worse. That's kind of like the end of it. It could have been worse. And that's what I think we all believe in. I know if JD was here, he would be agreeing with us too. Like it
Yeah.
seems like a bit of a overreaction. Tyler, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler's been silent the whole time.
Yeah.
I love the idea. It's
And I'm
funny
like-
to me that Tyler's been sitting there just watching me dig my grave like,
Yeah,
oh,
Ray
this boy
Fisher's
about to
right
get
here
cancelled.
listening to us.
Ray Fisher's in the room with Tyler.
Yeah, like
Like, hey man, you're called Jay
Say
Har-
I will say, and I've said this before, I will happily eat my words or whatever if actual evidence comes out and this whole thing goes in Ray's favor. I'll be like, yeah, okay, clearly it was worse than I thought. You know what I mean? But at the moment, I don't think anyone can be persecuted for believing him or not believing him because there's not enough there to really make a decision either way. It's a bunch of hearsay. The company's saying one thing, he's saying another thing. The only thing so far that's made any sense to me is that one email he sent where we didn't actually see who he sent it to or any context behind it, and the idea of them announcing Batfleck. That one I was like, that makes sense. But like,
Yeah.
that's all we can go off. Like, there's nothing really that I'm like tangible. I'm like, okay. He keeps being like, we had a conversation, and then doesn't say anything about the conversation. So I'm just like reserving myself. But at the same time, who knows? Maybe in like 6 months we'll be like, yo, Ray Fisher, good job standing up against him. But
Yeah. I mean,
Who knows?
we'll keep you guys updated on this podcast here alone. But as of
that's
now,
it.
also, if you want to be keep updated every day, Ray Fisher probably talks about this daily on his Twitter.
Yeah.
Like he gives updates every single day on Twitter. So he's really into it. So if you
He's
guys
going
are
for it.
into
Well, yeah, and at the same, I disagree with some people who say that he's doing it for publicity's sake. That one doesn't make sense to me.
Nah.
I get where the idea is coming from. Is people like, ooh, causing like controversy to stir, but no one's gonna want to work with him after this. Like he's already ruined in quotes his career, but who knows? Maybe it'll be fine. But no, you wouldn't do this to try and further your career. Like that's not how it works. So I kind of disagree with people. He's like, he's clout chasing. He's just doing it so that he gets attention. I'm like, why would someone risk their entire career just for the possibility that some people might be like, he's pretty cool? Like, strange. Yeah.
I would be
The
shocked.
whole situation is just a mess. It's
I
just
would
a
be
mess.
so shocked if we got like an announcement saying Ray Fisher's returning as Cyborg. Like I would not believe it at first, even if it's like Entertainment Weekly saying it. I'd be like, no way.
That one would get me the most because I'd be like, why would you want to
What did
go
they do to
back?
him?
Yeah, exactly. Because he was
They're like-
rumored to be in the
They
Flash
just dump
again.
a truckload of cash on his front lawn, and he's just like, accountability, what?
a millionaire. Yeah, I'll say booyah. No.
I'll say booyah how many times you want me to.
Yeah.
Dude, Jeff
I'll
John's
get
my
it
favorite
tattooed
writer.
right here.
He appears with a booyah tattoo on his neck.
That is the funniest part of that whole story, is that Warner Brothers being like, Ray didn't want to say booyah, and Ray was like, I wanted to say booyah. Like, it's just grown men fighting over the word booyah.
Yeah. It's like, I did want to say it, just not at that specific moment.
I wanted to say it later. I wanted to say you should probably move.
Yeah. Anyways, on to gaming news.
Damn, that was a long one.
Yeah. PlayStation 5 had, or I guess Sony had this little presentation this past week showing off the new latest games coming for PlayStation 5 along with the release date and the price. I cried in Canadian when I saw that, but
Cried in Australian, yeah.
yeah.
I cheered in American.
Yeah, it's
you
it's
would.
640 for Canada here. I think it's like in the
400
700s
for us.
for Australia.
I think how much did you say, Hunter?
640 Canadian.
How much is it here? Do you know?
I think 705 or
Oh,
something.
really? I thought it was cheaper here. God damn! Wow.
Like
400 for
I'd be
me.
getting the digital version anyway
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
don't
me too.
ever use disc. I bought my friend let me borrow Avengers, and then I bought it digitally. playing it on disc is the loudest thing ever. I didn't realize how loud discs were. I put it in to install it, and it was like, and I was like, good lord. And then playing it digitally, it's just dead silent.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Crazy, man.
I have it on disc, and I have a PS Pro, and it is loud.
Same, yep. It's loud as.
Anyways, the main thing to talk about here for a superhero podcast is the superhero game. Miles Morales had some gameplay, about 7 minutes or so of gameplay footage. I imagine you guys watched this, right?
Hell yeah, I watched it live.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Oh, dude, I just, it's like, I love Miles Morales. Like, okay, I gotta start that over.
He's lost for words. That's
It was like
he's in
it was
love.
It's so cool. It's like, I don't know, something about seeing him slide down the fire escape and seeing the Puerto Rican flags, and then seeing his mom actually be doing something. His mom is never doing anything in the comics or in the Spider-Verse movie. It's like, it's so cool.
She's there to say goodbye to him. That's it.
Oh no, that would suck if they killed her too, orphan Miles. But it's like, I don't know, something about Miles. Like, I think I was 10 when he was introduced, and I read his comics when I was a kid, and it was like, it's something about him was very familiar. It's like, he felt like me, and his mom felt like my mom, and his dad felt like my dad, and he's also from New York, and it was like, it felt nice.
He's relatable to you.
Yeah, like in a way that Peter isn't. You know?
Yeah, because
It's
most people say
awesome.
Spider-Man's so loved because he's so relatable. But
Yeah, but it's like Peter is relatable on like a very human level. Like, Peter's a very human character, but the circumstances around Miles, like his culture and his family, like that was more relatable to me, and I really just fell for that character hard. I love that. I love Miles.
and now he's getting
Just
his game.
anyway, seeing it in video game form and seeing it being respected so well and seeing him be so awesome and so badass, so strong, it's just awesome. It's
Yeah,
really-
strong especially. They really showed off the strength in the Spidey power there, which I loved. It kind of reminded me, this is basically like the demo that we had for Spider-Man PS4 where he's chasing the helicopter.
Mhm.
It's very much like
yeah.
that. Like kind of like a playable cutscene in a way, but in a good way. Like, it's really well done. It got me really, really excited. And it's not full price. It's going to be $20 less than whatever your full price
because I think
is.
it's going to be half as long.
Yeah, it's not going to be as long, but I mean, they're still going to have the free roam capability. There's new modes.
It's in the snow as well, which I love snow
Christmas
for
time
settings. Dude, it
Spider-Man,
looks
bro.
so good. I was thinking yesterday about, like, you know how they didn't put like a symbiote skin in the first game, and people were like, what the hell? And they were like, oh, we want to save it for a story. We're probably going to do it in the sequel because, the after credit scene and everything.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, I'm so glad they didn't just randomly put like a Miles Spider-Man suit skin in the game. So you're just Peter, but swinging
Miles,
around.
yeah.
Like,
That'd be bad.
They're giving Miles his own game. Like, they didn't have to. Like, even though it's shorter, they're still giving him
a full game.
a
full new
you'll
game.
be able to do. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's also coming. They've confirmed now that it's coming with that remaster of Spider-Man PS4, which is apparently going to be like totally new. Like, apparently it's going to be way. Like,
They said it's
not just
graphically overloaded, and it's got
apparently it's not just like a
amazing
small
suits.
update. Yeah. Oh, I saw that. I was very
Yeah,
excited.
so going off that with the news, so it is getting remastered. They're changing a few things up. They're adding a little bit to the environment to make it a little bit more better, which is shocking because I thought the Spider-Man
Puddles.
PS4 didn't feel empty at all. You see cars moving, people in the streets, birds flying by. If you're like running up a wall, you see a plane occasionally. So they're adding more to make the world feel more alive, along with, like Tyler just said, the amazing suits being, well, not really officially. They just said
just
No,
said
it's
two,
heavily
like,
hinted at.
yeah, they said we're adding 3 amazing suits, which everyone
Mhm.
assumes
Okay.
is the 3 suits used in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 movies. So the Vigilante
Which,
suit, where he has
as
like
someone
a,
who's a defender of that first Amazing Spider-Man, I'm very excited for that.
as someone who's defender of the
Really
first
like that.
and even the second.
Are
like
you
the first
really?
Yeah,
I don't like
defend
the second one, but I'll also stand with you guys. I think the first one's great.
But I think
Yeah,
the second
really-
one is best suit, but I defend the movie itself.
Yeah, I watched it recently and wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. It's really good.
The first 10 minutes of Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best live-action Spider-Man scene ever.
Remember when they released it just by itself?
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie was just like, he hated me. He lied to
Dubstep
me.
electro.
Like, oh, God,
I'm-
man.
I disagree. Because I love the way the opening feels a lot like Spider-Man. You know, he's on the street, he's quipping, he's swinging by, and he's having a lot of fun. But there's some moments where like Rhino is on the car.
Oh, I know what you're gonna
knocks on the
say.
And he's
door,
just telling him to
and then
pull
Peter
over.
jumps away. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
tells him, "Can you please pull over?" And then Rhino kills like 30 people. And then Peter's like, what do I do about this? Like, web it, beat him up,
That's a
punch
good
the
point.
window.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was-
I watched
I
that
was-
movie for the first time. I was like, yeah, he's funny,
Yeah.
he's quipping. But now looking back, he says a quip, and it is a very Spider-Man line. Like, can you please
Yeah.
pull over? But then, yeah, Rhino.
But
then he
also the
does
collateral
nothing.
damage.
It's like
Yeah.
he is a comedian. It's like he's like, "Oh, you didn't like my jokes. All right, well, I'm gonna go." Like he should be proactive in the sense that like he shouldn't be letting. He just lets them die. It's hilarious. It's like so.
He should have
funny.
been joking and taunting at him to make him not do that. Like he should be trying to make
Distract
Rhino
him.
off his
And
game.
then, but also,
so
what's
that he's
funny
like,
about it? What's funny about the music blares and it's like heroic music when Rhino kills all these people. It's like, it's so funny.
You see, like in the background, Pierre just going away. All right, bye.
He's also
and
like
this is
a
why
stalker in
Into
that
the
movie.
Spider-Verse is the best
It's a very weird version of Peter.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
version of number 1 a lot, and I also think number 2 has some sparks, but it's just. I can't.
It's sad.
the
It's
suit's
really
nice.
sad.
The suit is very nice,
And it's
Every
gonna
suit
be
that
in the
movie is
game,
amazing.
probably.
Even like the even like the civilian wear in that movie is like Gwen Stacy's outfits are just
They're nice, yeah. She's got like
Amazing.
the black hairband and everything like from the comics. Gwen was really well casted. I think that whole movie is well casted. Even Electro, despite him being like a weird version of the Blue Man Group, I think he is a good Electro in the end. But you know,
Okay.
He remembered my name. He remembered my name.
yeah, you know, I don't mind it that much. But yeah, Spider-Man. The last thing for these Spider-Man PS4 is Miles Morales is also, although it does release the day the PlayStation 4 releases, it is a launch title. It is also coming to the PlayStation 4 for those not getting PlayStation.
So the day it releases on the PlayStation 4, it's also going to release on the
God
PlayStation 4. That's
dang,
what you
I
just told
suck
me.
at this. Why do
Nice. that was such a thing that I could have just let slide, but I was like,
I
come on.
know. The day
Wait, so
the-
it's released on the PS4 as well?
yeah, and the PS5. Same day.
So Miles Morales is going to be on PS4.
Yes.
So why would I get a PS5 now then? I'll just wait till the second wave. Like I guess for like slightly better graphics. But
yeah. It's gonna be
For
better
those 3
graphics and
amazing
For a half game, I don't know if I'm gonna pay like for a $700 console.
the only
day one.
difference is the PlayStation 5 version has better graphics and instant loading times. But if you get it on PlayStation 4 and then eventually get the 5, it automatically transfers over. The disc will work for
wow.
4 and 5.
What
Or
if you
if
get
you buy,
digital?
or if you
'Cause
get
I'm-
digital, like you just sign in
That's
and have it.
awesome. Okay, wow. Dude,
Mhm.
Sony. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, they respect that some of us be broke.
Yeah, thank you.
The PlayStation 5, for those who's just listening to this, like, oh man, I should get that. Sold out pretty much everywhere. I think
Mm.
pre-orders started as of recording, so Thursday, and they're already sold out everywhere. I was planning on pre-ordering it, but I didn't get a chance to. So, you know, I'll get it on the 4 for now, unless the 5 does become available. But yeah, coming on the PlayStation 4. Now for the millions of comic news. Solicitations came out, so I guess we'll start with Marvel, since we're kind of on that Marvel tail with this Spider-Man news. King in Black is the next Spider-Man event. It is going to be featuring like the kind of like the finale for
Venom,
Donny Cates' Venom. King in Black featuring, I think it's called Null.
No, yeah, K-N-U-L-L.
Yeah. Did you read about King in Black, Tyler?
I don't know whatever they released recently, but I do know that it's like the finale of Donny Cates' Venom run. So he had Venom, first arc of Venom. He introduces Null as the god of the symbiotes,
Mhm.
this dumbass character, and then he also did Absolute Carnage, which I actually really like. Absolute Carnage. Absolute Carnage is really good.
Oh, that
And
was
then
good too.
this is, like the final chapter in his run.
Okay.
And it's like, I think that Null is like Marvel's Batman Who Laughs now, because it's like everything Donny Cates writes is Null centered. So he did Silver Surfer Black, which is what a Silver Surfer met Null. And I remember people telling me, like, you got to read Silver Surfer Black. I'm like, I got to read it so that I can read Silver Surfer meet this character that like was invented 1 year ago. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm pretty sure Null is in his Thor, kind of, right? Like
He's kind
referenced.
of. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
referenced. I don't think he's ever been shown,
Mhm.
but I didn't read.
And then he's heavy in Donny Cates' Venom.
Yeah.
He's all over everything is written except for Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's just like, I don't care about. I think Null is such a stupid character. The God of the symbiotes. I don't care. And I know I'm alone in that, but like, ugh.
People might
I'm
agree
not
with you
hyped
there.
for
If he's
King
like
of
the
Black.
Batman Who Laughs, I feel like a lot of your average comic fan might not like him because a lot of average comic fans, not even on like online, I've known people in person and just like Batman Who Laughs is stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good to hear. That's when you know a villain has been completely oversaturated.
I mean, a lot of people seem to think he's a stupid character, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people were like Null's stupid, but Null hasn't been around as much, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, Null is just thankfully resigned to Donny Cates stuff.
Mhm.
And like Null hasn't, gotten in the body of Dr. Manhattan. So
Yeah.
not as egregious as
Yeah,
Batman
yeah.
was,
Yeah, for sure. With
If
this,
if this story and event ends up bad, I would pretty much say that it's null and void. How's that?
well, thanks. You could leave.
Wow, that was the most derailing joke I've ever made.
I'll just call JD right now, like, hey, we should have this guy on next week.
Yo, can we get Harper out of the group chat, man? It ain't working.
Going off with that, for those who are into the Knight in Black, hooray! You get a lot more than you would think. For those not into it, Knight in Black will have a tie-in in just about every single Marvel comic, except for the Amazing Spider-Man, as far as I know, because that's doing its own thing.
Are you serious?
But Symbiote Spider-Man, which is a 6 or 5 issue miniseries, starts in November, and it will tie into this.
Oh my goodness.
But besides that, pretty much every comic will have a King in Black tie-in. Avengers, X-Men, Iron Man. Oh, Daredevil will not. Daredevil won't.
Why is Iron Man having one?
Yeah, Iron Man is having one. And
What?
there's even going to be a one-shot called Iron Man and Doom, which will be Dr. Doom and Tony Stark.
Oh, that's cool. That's
okay,
cool.
that you know what? That does sound really cool.
Yeah, that's redeemed it. That one's redeemed
really
it for me
cool.
big time.
They will be featured. They'll have a one-shot.
Tyler and I are both sitting here like Doom Quest Part 2.
Yeah, Doom Quest. Doom Quest is like top 2 Iron Man stories. Top 3 maybe.
So yeah, they're getting a one shot, kind of like Speed Metal for Death Metal, how the Flashes are getting their own thing that or just happen to be in there. Iron Man, Doctor Doom will too. But besides that, pretty much most of them will be getting a tie-in, including Black Cat. And this kind of leads me to my next bit of news. Black Cat is getting her own comic in December.
Another one, yeah.
In issue 2, I believe, is a King in Black tie-in. So
it's not even off the ground yet.
Way to start a comic. But yeah, Spider-Man's safe. I believe Captain America might be safe. I'd have to double check there. And Daredevil is safe. Daredevil's issue 25 comes out in December, and it'll feature another Daredevil in prison arc. So I have to get the name, but yeah, we're doing that again. But this time he's got the mask on. So they give him the cover shows him with like a prison mask, like he has like an orange mask with no horns. So
yeah,
I thought that was kind of funny, but I think it'd be cool looking. Going on for Marvel Comics, 2 new comics were announced that are starting in December. One ongoing, one mini. The ongoing is a Fantastic Four comic that's going to be called Fantastic Four Road Trip. It'll be written by Christopher Cantwell and art by Felipe Andrade. Might be pronouncing that wrong.
I think it's Andrade.
Andrade.
Yeah.
It's going to be about the Fantastic Four going on a road trip. I believe the kids won't be involved. It's just going to be the core 4 team. But cool. Those who don't like the current Fantastic Four run or like it and want more Fantastic Four in your life, here you are.
It looks like it's a horror comic.
Yeah, so the cover shows the members.
It's a one shot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it says it's a one shot.
I saw number 1.
It's that it looks horrifying. It's like all of them like
burning or something.
Zombified.
Like,
It looked
yeah, it looks like
gross.
their flesh is like being rotted.
Oh, it's like Johnny is melting. Sue is like turning invisible, like incorporeal. Uh, Ben's skin is falling off, and Reed is like turning to rubber, like melting rubber.
Yikes.
Fantastic Four road trip. Such a
Send this.
fun name and such a horrible looking cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this in a chat. It looks horrifying. That looks disgusting.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what it looks like now.
If Cantwell, if his Iron Man from this week shows anything, then this is gonna be real good.
Maybe it's like
Did you
their
appreciate my
powers
joke?
What
hurt
was your
them.
joke?
My joke from my video that I put up of
I didn't
Iron
watch the
Man
full
1
thing.
today. Okay. At a point, I went, this issue is written by Christopher Cantwell, and honestly, after reading how he writes Tony, I would say he can well. Hey, Hunter liked one, yes.
I thought that was good. I thought that was actually really
Thank
good.
you.
Respect.
I remember thinking he's like that guy's cursed because if he writes shitty comics, they're gonna be like Christopher
He can't
Cantwell,
well.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that cover is horrifying.
Yeah. For
Sue looks like Dr. Manhattan when he's reforming for the first time.
Ugh,
For those listening,
nasty.
look it up.
Jeez.
Fantastic Four road trip #1. It is. It looks like it will be a horror comic. Like, ugh. I didn't really get a good look at it now, but now I am, and I'm like, huh, that does not look.
That's gross, man.
The other comic that's coming out is a 4-issue miniseries called MODOK. He's getting his book. Everyone's favorite villain.
Finally, we've all been waiting for our MODOK mini.
MODOK
As
was
Tyler once said, am I supposed to take MODOK seriously?
Yeah, that was like when they announced MODOK as the villain. I was
for
like,
the game.
like what? Like that's the main villain, MODOK, because MODOK is just the most laughable character ever, and they tried so hard in the game.
That's right. They really did, and it didn't work. Once you get to that final fight, oh
I
my
hunted
god.
wolves when I was a kid, and wolves are weakness, and I ate the flesh. Like I'm like, you look funny. Like his head got bigger and bigger every time you saw him. It was so funny. It was hilarious.
Oh my god.
I tried to take him seriously, but even the final fight, like you said, like it's hard.
Yeah.
You're like fighting him, but you're like playing Black Widow, just firing like trigger finger, just killing this guy in the head.
Shooting him with bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, you damn Avengers can't control your power. And
The weirdest part about that is it's one of the easiest parts of that boss fight too. Like she really caps him hard, and he
Yeah.
goes down super quick.
I
He's like,
remember.
this is proof right now that you can control your power. It's like I'm playing a regular person with a gun.
I remember. I think the first time I ever saw MODOK was Superhero Squad, that cartoon.
Oh
And,
wow.
Yeah. And so he's a joke in that show. I mean, everyone's a joke in that show, but could never take him seriously from that point on. And I remember he's in Lego Marvel, and in Lego Marvel he can hover. But the thing is, if you hover and then you press circle or B and then drop out of the hover, he falls out of the chair. And it's hilarious.
And then he's
Oh,
useless.
that's great.
Yeah, it's so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
It's
I
hilarious.
mean, his power is you can control technology, which could
Which
work.
should be cool.
Yeah, but they made him look stupid.
He
Dude,
just
I had a comment on my Avengers post the other day that was just like, spoilers for the end of the game, but I'm going to keep it kind of vague anyway. They were like, instead of the thing that you have at the end, if he controls technology and Hank Pym is in the game, why didn't you make a big Ultron bot? And then he controls an Ultron bot. That would have made way more sense to me than a weird random third act twist where they're just like, hey, this thing that's vaguely related to this thing, but
Yeah.
Black Widow knows exactly what it is, even though they weren't sure about the other thing. So strange. So strange.
What a weird game. I liked it,
yeah, I liked it too.
but I feel like I could
remember
complain
when
about
that
it more.
thing happened, I was like, what?
Yep.
Just such a random thing. And I had to pause the game and like piece it together, knowing what I know about Marvel. I was like, well, is this here because of this? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. Okay, so they're not sure about using the Terrigen crystals, right? It's like that. All they really know about it is that they can power stuff, and then it explodes, and people get the inhuman powers. But like, as soon as the thing pops up, Black Widow is just like, "It's and she says exactly what it is, and
I
I'm
guess
like,
they've
how did
fought
they-
it before, but also why
I
would they
guess,
forget
but
its
I
name?
had someone say to me, wouldn't it make more sense if Thor went, it's because he would have knowledge from being in space, you know what I mean? Black Widow, of all people, going, it's this, is so random. It's like, why would she know? Does Shield just know
She
this?
does her
I don't know.
research, I
They
guess.
Yeah,
must
clearly.
have faced it off before, because in the Avengers game, this is like what, year 10 Avengers or something. Like they've been Avengers for a while.
Yeah.
Kate Bishop, from judging by her trailer, is a well-known hero. Like she's known. So they must have been Avengers for like maybe 15 plus years. So it's a chance they could have fought
And-
it already.
I mean,
Mm.
Captain Marvel is there, like Carol Danvers.
Right? Yeah.
That's
She's
like
True,
her.
yeah, but she's just off world.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that's like her
Yep.
thing is that stuff.
the thing.
What a vague way to go around it. Her thing is that stuff, but yeah. Like,
we know what you're talking about too.
We tried. We tried.
That's it for the Marvel Comics news. DC, for their news. Oh, big news. I forgot this came out. Bendis is off every single DC title starting in December. He is not done with DC, apparently, judging by a tweet.
he's off everything.
He's off everything. So
Yeah, Young Justice is cancelled. Superman's gone.
Superman.
What else did he have?
Action Comics?
Action
is
Comics
like-
and Legion of
Naomi.
Superheroes.
Yeah, wow.
So Naomi's going to be wrapping up, I think, before December.
That's interesting.
Because
What's
they're
he
doing
go-
Naomi.
oh God, what's he going to next?
Well, he said, so first off, so he announced he's off Superman. He's after Superman, I think 27, which is 2 issues away. 2.
Wow. Damn,
So-
that's soon.
Yeah, so he says that's going to be his last issue of Superman. He's wrapping up his Action Comics for December as well. Legion just got canceled straight up. Like they didn't say in the solicitation, but issue 12 is the last issue. We don't know if it'll be continuing with a different writer or not, but it's looking unlikely. And then Young Justice is going to end in October. So yeah, he tweeted out saying something big came up for comics in 2021 that he had the opportunity to kind of helm.
Spider-Man.
had
He's
to-
writing Spider-Man Watch.
It could be Marvel, although I think it's still DC. But he
I
said
don't
he
think
had
he's
to
going back
drop
Marvel.
everything. Like he said he had to put everything off the table to focus on this. So
What if it's the Flash?
Uh,
You'll never
that-
see me
I
again
wish-
if it's the Flash.
Flash is not as big as Superman. Everything he had.
Yeah,
Just
that's true.
Like a
He had to
big
drop
enough thing.
What else? What is bigger though? What is bigger than Superman?
DC maybe.
Is he-
I don't know. Well, like the whole thing is that
Sony?
what I
Sony?
think is he's going to be helming the next event. Maybe. Usually, event writers when they write an event, they focus on said event, unless you're Donny Cates. But like Scott Snyder, he was writing Justice League, and then he got a chance to do Death Metal, and he dropped his Justice League run to focus on Death Metal. So it could be something to do with that. But I feel like it could be bigger. 2021, a lot of rumors are saying that we're going to be getting not a reboot, but a relaunch for DC.
Oh no! Did you see that thing that Jim Lee said at
Yeah,
DC
be a bit more
Fandom Part
specific.
2? Okay,
I-
he said that the 5G thing isn't happening,
Mhm.
and then I just saw the quote, but it was like there isn't a relaunch coming in next year. Like he said something like there's no reboot, no relaunch kind of happening, and so that made me go, oh damn, they really just cancelled like half of their titles, and there's no reboot or relaunch coming. Because I remember saying usually when they cancel titles, we know that a relaunch is coming already. So you're not like, why is everything falling apart? But now he's saying, no, there's no 5G, there's no relaunch. So unless he's just like, I don't know,
He's
just
saying
waiting
that.
to announce something. Yeah, like, I mean, that does happen. They're just like, yeah, sure. There's nothing coming yet.
I mean, there's an interview from 2018 that I used to bring up a lot on the podcast when DC Universe first launched. And some journalist was just like, hey, Jim Lee, is it coming to other countries? He's like, coming to Canada really, really soon. It's been 2 years. It's still not in
It
Canada.
never came here. Never came here.
never
either.
came to Australia. It's
Yep.
just American still. So Jim Lee, he could be.
No wonder it died
wrong.
so quickly. Like,
I think I remember Jim Lee also saying something like this week that there is no relaunch, but they are planning something big for DC that they're going to be doing gradually instead of all at once. So like
okay, that's cool.
Rebirth, when that started,
Yeah.
they announced in May, and then in July it started, and it was like this huge thing where every book restarted. But in this case, I feel like maybe it's coming gradually, which I don't know how I feel about. I kind of wanted a relaunch.
Yeah, I didn't want them to go back. Like, I didn't want them to go launch new number ones. I wanted them to continue with like their numbering, but
Mhm.
I did want just a line wide kind of restart. Let's go, kind of revitalized everything because it's so stale right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Flash is great, but that's gonna stop when Williamson's off, probably.
It's literally got one issue left. Yeah,
Yeah, and Batman's good, but it's not
Justice
amazing.
League
I mean,
Dark.
Yeah, I guess Justice League Dark for you.
I'm one of 3 people in the world who reads that. So
Besides that, though, besides Flash and maybe Batman, when people ask what are your favorite comics right now, Daredevil, Iron Man.
Suicide Squad.
Well,
I said
not
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
well, Suicide Squad's ending too.
Yeah.
So
Also, it's controversial.
Why isn't Tom
I mean, I've
Taylor
heard
writing
mixed
everything though?
things.
God, I love Tom Taylor.
He's the best. Tom Taylor is
Flash,
the
yeah.
absolute best, bro.
Australian
Tom Taylor
boy.
should write Flash. This is what I've been saying. If you're gonna do,
He's literally written the best Barry Allen of the last 2 decades in Injustice. That is one of like the best arcs I've ever seen a character go on in a not main universe.
So perfect for it. He could write Bart's Flash, and it would be like the best thing ever because he's perfect with legacy. I love Tom Taylor so much. I'd fight for.
I do too. No, I'm with you 100%.
But it's like he's perfect with legacy characters. He did the perfect Wolverine run with Laura, and then he did X-Men Red, and that's like the best X-Men book before the new best X-Men. You know what I mean? And then
before
and
Hitman.
then he did. I don't know why I can't
Superior
think of other
Iron Man.
good stuff. Superior Iron Man's
Iron
great.
Man.
Yeah.
Deceased is good. So yeah, he's done good stuff. He's
Oh, I love him.
never really done. Like
I'm a
bad
massive
book.
defender of Injustice. I will fight to people to death over Injustice.
Injustice.
I love that
No,
so much.
I think it's.
No, but people are always like, oh, I don't like that they killed this character in this way. But at the same time, all of my favorite characters have lived, so I think that's why I like it.
As a Shazam
Yeah.
fan, it hurt, but at the same time, I was like, you know, it's well done.
Dude, that is brutal as.
Yeah, and I love Martian Manhunter too, and I'm sad that he died so quickly. But at the same time, I'm like,
Oh, that caught me off guard when I first read that series. It was
Yeah,
just like,
it's-
oh, he just burned up in the atmosphere pretending to, okay.
but at the same time, I was like, you know what? It's well written.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bendis is off everything. We don't really know what's going to happen next with this. But for going forward, what we do know what's happening is what's happening in December. Endless Winter, that was such a big rumor for years. Not years. I don't know why I said years. Months. It was a big rumor for months where
You do that all the time where you'll go, yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Wait, why'd I say that? I give it like a 2.
Been the biggest thing in comics, the biggest rumor for decades now.
for decades since like 1990s. This has been a rumor.
Hunter's like Harvey Dent.
I got a Harvey Dent coin actually. Not on me right now, but dang, I have like a
Explains a
two-sided
lot.
coin. Yeah. Endless Winter was rumored to be like the 2021 DC. It's going to be an Endless Winter. We're going to have like even in the summertime, it's going to be like winter themed comics. Turns out it's going to be 1 month. It's all happening in December. I think it's 9 issues. It could be 10. It could be 11. It could be 12. 9 to
Yeah.
12.
Doesn't really seem like an endless winter, I'm going
And
to be
it's
honest with
going
you.
through like a bunch of different books. right?
Yeah,
Like
so there's
Batman,
there's like
Justice
Endless
League,
Winter
Superman.
Part 1 and 2, but there's also tying into The Flash,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's getting one, Teen Titans of all books.
Well, like it's going through those stories. Like part 1 will be Endless Winter, part 1, and then part 2 is going to be the Superman issue. Part 3 is going to be I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kind of
exactly.
like what Marvel's doing with a.
Yeah,
Swords of
so
Time,
if you're
whatever.
just like, man, I wonder what's happening in Flash, and you pick it up, it might be Endless Winter Part 2. So you kind of have to read
Mhm.
Part 1. But it's kind of like Batman and Robin Eternal, which came out near the end of New 52, where it was weekly, and sometimes
Yeah.
twice a week. So there'll be some weeks where there's like 3 issues, like part 3, part 4, part 5, all in one day will come out. So they just want to do it for all December. And the story itself is there's an endless winter in the DC universe, and there's like a winter god who's like, hey, you're all gonna freeze, ha ha ha. Wonder Woman and Batman have new suits, which is cool. But joining the Justice League is Swamp Thing and Black Adam. They're going to be joining
Wow,
the league for this
cool.
story.
Well,
Yeah.
down,
Oh, just for
okay.
the story, damn. Okay. I was
Well,
hoping that might
maybe
continue on.
going on. We don't know what's happening after Endless Winter, but yeah, Black Adam and Swamp Thing will be joining the Justice League for this, which I thought was super cool. Shazam not going to have a role in this story, but I think it's cool that Black Adam does. One of the covers shows Black Adam like carrying an unconscious Flash, which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
I did
okay.
see that.
Yeah, so it could be good. It could be good. It's kind of nice
Is
because
it-
like Death Metal's been going on since like the start of July, and we're almost in October here, and it hasn't wrapped up at all.
Is it different writers or is it one writer? Is it like every book's writer?
Should have looked that up. I don't-
What is this? Isn't what Wade's writing?
No.
No.
Oh,
Wade.
okay, I wasn't-
I
I had
guess
no
we'll go
idea.
to Wade now. Mark Waid is returning to
Yes.
DC. He's going to be writing a story called The Last Stories of the DC Universe. It's going to be a death metal tie-in.
That's
whole
hilarious.
thing. So it is a death metal tie-in, but it is about the Titans getting together. It's going to be
And who's on that team, Hunter? Who's on that Titans team?
Nightwing, Donna, Wally.
Wally!
Yeah, Wally.
It's the first time in like 13 years Mark Waid is riding Wally West again.
Mm-hmm. He's in the blue Manhattan suit, but
Who cares? Who cares? Dude, when I've realized, I saw someone post it up, I thought it was a joke. They were like, "Oh, Mark Waid's returning," and then he posted a picture of like the Titans. I'm like, "Oh, that must be fan art." And then I realized it was real. I'm like, I don't care if it's like 3 pages long. Mark Waid writing Wally West again is like a dream come true.
So for the listeners who don't know, Mark Waid, he's a writer from a while ago at DC. He hasn't written comics in a long time, but he's mostly known for writing like the best Wally West Flash run.
Best Flash run ever, right?
Yeah, I'd say even just straight up best Flash run. Some people might say Jeff Johns was a little bit better, but Mark Waid basically made
Bible.
Wally West the lovable character he is today. He made him the fastest man alive. If you're
Mark
on YouTube
Waid-
right now.
I think, Harper, you're going to agree
Yes.
with me. Mark Waid's the best comic book writer of all time. You
Yes,
gonna agree
yep,
with me? Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Oh, damn.
And I don't want to say by far, but like,
I'd say Jeff
No,
Johns is very close.
Definitively, he is for me.
I think for me as well, like, you get Wally's run, you get his Fantastic Four run, you get Kingdom Come, you get Superman Birthright, Daredevil. Yeah, just
So
everything he's done is just magic.
his Daredevil runs were the first Daredevil things I ever read when I started getting into comics, and good lord, man.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore his writing. Easily my favorite writer, but at the same time, I also acknowledge why he's so good with like aggressive characters who have anger management problems. Because if you ever hear stories about Mark Waid, it's the funniest stuff, and also sometimes a little bit concerning.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
but
he's
he's
good.
great, honestly.
He's really good, and he's returning to
I
I
write this
hope,
one
I
book.
swear, I pray that he comes back and
Also,
does
Captain
any-
America. He did very good Captain America stuff.
He did
Yeah.
well at the start. Apparently, it wasn't great afterwards. I only read the first bit.
I mean, I could name good Mark Waid things all day. I mean, he's just
Yep.
brilliant.
He's
So good.
returning just for this one book for now, but we don't know. He might be sticking around. I mean, this is happening in December. We don't know any comics coming in January yet.
The
next
He's
rumors,
definitely only back because Didio is gone.
yeah, the rumors that I said when this was a rumor was that he was going to take an editorial position.
Okay.
Yeah, God, I would love that.
That is a dream.
That is a dream.
Mark
Absolutely.
Waid
could
running
fix
DC
DC.
Comics, bro? Are you?
He would fix it. He would literally fix it. Yeah.
He would fix everything, put everything back to the way it is, as well as expanding on it. So
Yeah.
this story alone, what it's going to be about, judging by the solicitations, is Death Metal finale is coming up. It's the final fight, and they, like the heroes of the DC universe, realize that tomorrow it's it. We have one last day before we might all die, or we might all live, or some of us will die, some of us will live. So he's writing a story with no action in it. It's going to be the Titans getting together for one final night, and they're going to treat it like the last night of their lives. Like we're all going to die tomorrow. This is our goodbye. So
I know.
it's going to be very emotional.
Mark Waid writes some of the best, just like 10-page stories ever. Like in his Flash run, I mean, it was in like a Justice League quarterly, but he wrote that story where Wally's trapped in an elevator and there's like a politician about to get shot and he's only a few feet away, but Wally can't phase through the thing, otherwise it'll explode and send shards of glass everywhere. He can't get out of the elevator and he has to like think of a way in these 10 pages to save this guy from getting shot. It's called like Half an Inch because he just barely saves the guy before the bullet hits him. And like the story where he's like running around trying to find Linda like a Christmas present and everything. Like he just writes such good little short stories that like I don't care what this is about. Hearing that gets me even pumped. But like even if you were just like, oh, it's just all of them just like sitting alone and being quiet and socially awkward, I'd be like, yes, it's gonna be the best thing ever written.
Well, that's what it might be. I mean, it's the Titans.
Well, yeah, it could be.
I guess,
especially
like-
after the last few years.
Batman's going to be like, hey, tomorrow we're all going to fight. We might all lose. tonight just spend time with your loved ones, and the Titans decide they're going to get together.
What a
Mark
perfect guy to
Waid's-
get to write that, man.
Yeah,
What?
Mark Wade's right.
It was either Wade or Johns would have been the perfect guy to write that. And
I
they
think
got-
I think Wade is definitely the better one for that.
yeah, no, I agree.
Like
I'm
that
just saying, like,
sentimental kind of, oh my god, dude, we're gonna see Dick and Wally together, and they're gonna be themselves,
written
Yeah,
by
not
Mark
Rick
Waid.
and.
dude.
Oh, I'm
I
excited.
know I wasn't on last week. I know you guys
Where's-
talked about it. But hell of a week for DC continuity to
Wait,
bring back,
Where's Roy?
and then also Roy's not there because he's dead.
All right, I don't care about
Dummy.
this issue anymore. Never mind.
Oh no, because wasn't
No.
there? No, there was art. There was another piece of art where you saw Roy in the background, and he had
He's
like
a zombie.
yeah. What was that?
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
it
so
was
stupid,
another.
though. Like, I just want Roy back.
It was
Yeah, I
another
agree.
death metal tie-in. I think it's called the 52 Days of Death Metal or something like that.
Oh my god,
Another
that's
tie-in,
the
another
worst
one
name.
shot.
That is the worst name so far.
It's
On
52
the first day of death metal.
It's 52 Days of something. It might not be death metal, but it is a death metal tie-in, and we don't know really what it's fully about. But Roy is on the cover. He's in the background though. The cover shows like 100 superheroes,
Yeah, I saw that.
and Roy's
Yeah.
very, very small. You get to zoom in and you'll see him.
All right. Well, you know, actually, if he feeds into that, and this issue is like about Roy not being there, then that's gonna be because
Oh my god, and all of the Titans being like, Wally, we don't blame you and everything. And oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh,
'Cause I was just thinking about there's an X-Men issue very recently when Scott was dead, but Jean, Bobby, Angel, and Beast are all alive, and they all sit around and they get smoothies. And the ending of the book, they all clink their smoothies together and say for Scott. Like if they do something similar, but regarding Roy, is gonna be like the best issue of the past decade. This is gonna-
Hunter, were you about to say that Dick doesn't know about the whole Wally thing?
Well, I was gonna say that, but he was technically in Heroes in Crisis just for like one of
No,
those.
but
one
he
panel.
was there for the confessionals, but the confessionals happened beforehand, so
Yeah,
I don't think he ever actually. I don't think he knows about Wally. No,
That'll be
because
awkward.
remember when Roy Harper had his funeral and like the tie-ins with the price and everything. He was like Rick at that point, and Batman was like, well, he doesn't even remember us anymore. So I don't think he knows any of that.
Yeah,
That's
he might
crazy.
Not. He might not. You're right.
Oh,
Wow.
Endless Winter, by the way. Ron Mars and Andy Lanning and Ron Mars are writing it. That's a good
okay.
get.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
Andy
not
Lanning
just
did-
random writers here and there, but that's good. Yeah.
He did him and Abnett did the 2008 Guardians of the Galaxy run.
Going on for the last bit of news of the week, Generation Shattered, which is Generation Zero, I believe it was originally called, gonna come out free comic book day. COVID happened,
Oh.
got canceled completely. Dan Didio left DC. Starting again, but they're changing to being called Generation Shattered, but it's kind of the same idea. They're adding a character to it. Originally, they were gonna make it like Luke Fox Batman coming in. They changed that to Day 3 Batman, I think they're calling it. So it's Batman on like his third day of Batman. Booster Gold comes in and takes him, and it's like, hey, you gotta come with us for something. So it's like,
Oh, Purple Gloves. Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
he's
yeah.
in the purple gloves. He's just kind of like the wide ears.
I did see that.
and the weird
And it's also
logo.
because that book has like a weird like team. It's like Green Lantern, Sinestro, 80s Starfire, first appearance Batman, Booster Gold, like not Kazar, Kamandi, whichever one is like the kid from
The kid
future.
that gets like different stories here and there. Yeah, he was in Justice Doing
Kamandi.
More.
Yeah, Kamandi and Dr. Light and Steel. Weird team,
Yeah.
but I think that's kind of cool.
Weird team. It's only gonna be for this one issue though. But yeah.
What's wrong with you, Hunter or Harper? What's wrong with you?
For those on YouTube right now, Harper just like froze on the screen. Anyways, well, now it's gone. Well, we'll continue the podcast. Just
That was hilarious.
You should just join back in though. Last bit of news is Batman Beyond is ending at issue 50.
Issue 50.
It lasted 50 issues for Rebirth.
Is it Bruce meeting them?
I'm not.
I saw a cover. I think it was Dan Mora, where Bruce is meeting Terry.
Oh, okay. Well, the main
think
cover is
like
Francis
modern day Bruce.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that.
That is kind of cool.
The main cover itself showed just like Terry himself, Batman Beyond.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is the final news is Batman Beyond is ending, and that's an hour of news this week. Hopefully Harper
Wow,
gets back
okay.
soon, and we will go over the comics. You read Iron Man, right?
I did read Iron Man, yeah.
Okay.
I
guess
bought it today, actually.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have it on you right now?
I don't.
Well, let's go for Iron Man. You'll have to remember. First off, what do you think? First initial reactions of Iron Man.
The art is the best part. The art is incredible.
It is really good. Just looking at this now.
It's really cool to see kind of the older, more suave version of Tony versus like the MCU-ified version of Tony.
Mhm.
Like it's very cool. Like even the mustache is classic Tony Stark instead of the
Yeah.
goatee.
He doesn't
But
have the beard. He's got a bit longer hair covering his ears a bit.
Yeah, he looks great. He looks very like 80s silver Centurion armor
Which
Tony
is
Stark.
kind of what they're going for because the armor has that very classic look to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But even it's like the modernized classic. It looks really cool.
You got the yellow legs and the yellow arms. Yeah.
Everything visually looks amazing about that book.
Do you know if the artist is staying on?
Cafu, I'm pretty sure he's doing at least this first arc. I don't know what else he's doing, but I know that he's going to be there for a while. He keeps talking about how he's very excited to be doing this.
Yeah,
I know he did. I think the
yeah.
last book he did was Valkyrie, Jane Foster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I read that. Jane Foster Valkyrie?
That was like, well, spoiler alert, I guess, but in War of the Realms, she becomes Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
So that was the last book that he did. And then he's on Iron Man. The whole story itself. Yeah. So this is, for those listening, this is Iron Man issue 1. This just started in a way. So if you want to read Iron Man, now's your chance. I got the Alex Ross variant. It's really nice. But the whole point of it is Tony going back to the way he was. They kind of flash in and out of his Twitter feed, which is...
Yeah, I thought it was so funny.
I thought it was kind of sad, but in like a realistic tone.
Yeah, I just think the tweets he gets are very funny. Like they're very real to what people would say about him.
Yeah.
He's like, he's trying to be this kind of down to earth guy, but they're like, yeah, say that in your brownstone, bro. Like, say that in your $1 million home.
Like the dark side attacks first.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, that's a Terex. He's Herald Galactus.
Okay, yeah, he looked like Darkseid.
He does look a lot like Darkseid.
So my Darkseid attacks, and Tony stops him by basically throwing him into a satellite. Mm-hmm. And then he tweets afterwards like, hey, everyone's safe. Terex has exited the solar system. He's no longer a threat. Mm-hmm. And instead of the comments being like, wow, Iron Man, you saved us, they're all like, wow, you destroyed my TV satellite. My internet's down because of this. I have no TV for 6 days. And even like a satellite company says our legal team will be contacting you. Those are what the comments are. Go on to the next tweet. And it's Iron Man saying, the clearest way to the universe is through a forest wilderness. And it's a quote by John Muir. Yeah. And the comments are saying, says the guy who made the internet have emotions. Cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Take a hike then. And so they're just like...
Yeah, it's like, it's just kind of... I don't know what happened to Tony that made everyone hate him recently. I feel like Tony Stark is usually a famous, like, loved celebrity. But I think it's really funny that people are just like, shut up, dude. Like, we don't care anymore. Iron Man used to be cool, but it's not anymore. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of like just that old hero that everyone's kind of over with, and now he's just kind of making things bad. Like, imagine you don't know Tony. You don't know Iron Man himself. You just know Tony Stark. And so, hey, Harper's back. You're just kind of like going... You're just back. Knowing Iron Man. Hey, Harper, we're talking about the Iron Man comic.
Oh god damn, that's when I dropped out. Wow.
Yes, you did.
Damn, what have you gotten to?
Currently we're talking about the tweets. So
yes.
I've been naming the tweets. The next tweet is hosting old friends in New York City tonight. Hashtag am I a New Yorker yet? And the first comment
was the one that got me.
The first comment replying is no. And then that's from God versus Spider-Man. That's his username. Next comment is, so you swore off tech, but you're throwing a party for a bunch of CEO billionaires? Cool. Nice burnout last night on Amsterdam. Tony Stark, hero of the common man. And he's like, man, I just, it's very relatable for like a rich businessman trying to be relevant. And then people are like, wow, you don't know what it's like to be normal.
Me, it felt very, very kind of Green Arrow, where Oliver is always trying to stay to the ground and be this
God, it's
relatable.
so much like Green Arrow.
Yeah, he's like trying to be this relatable hip hero, and I think in DC people accept him more. But I love the idea that Tony's trying to be this cool, hip, up with the times hero, but everyone's just like Iron Man was cool like 10 years ago. We don't care
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
It was one of those things that at first I was really iffy on. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. Seeing him try and be like cool and hip and still with it, but he, eventually he's like, I just got to detach myself from this, and he just deletes. Oh, that moment validated the rest of it for me, but I had to really think about it, which is why in that video I even said I was like, I'm a bit iffy on this, but I like the idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just want a lot of that to tie back a lot of his, big decisions that he's making, because I don't want it to just be such a fresh start that it's like nothing. You know what I mean? Like him leaving. You guys talk about him leaving Stark Unlimited?
No,
not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we can talk about that now. I was just gonna say, like, I think that's a really cool creative choice. If it comes back into it, like, I don't want him to leave Stark Unlimited with a bunch of money and then that's just it. I want him to get to a point where he keeps building stuff, because he's trying to go back to basics, but he can't. He's a futurist. He keeps building. He keeps looking forward instead of, trying to live in the now. And then eventually that money runs out, and then he's Tony Stark with all of this tech, but none of the money to keep it going. That to me is way more interesting than just, I've left my company, but I'm still the richest guy ever. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of potential. I just love, I don't know. It seems like an issue that is basic, so new readers can get into it, but it's going to explode into something that's really interesting.
I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the way they're going, it's like, I think he said, like, he's like, we're bringing Tony back to the extreme basics.
Yeah.
Like, as basic as his basic costume.
Yes.
It's like, we're going back to old, like you said this while you were disconnected, but it's like old suave mustache. Like longer hair.
Great look too, honestly.
Yeah. I prefer mustache to goatee, absolutely.
It depends on the goatee for me. Like, I think his mustache looks better than his, like, Illuminati era kind of full, where it's just like this.
Yeah.
He looks like a biker. It looks like too full on sometimes.
I mean, the goatee is really, I associate the goatee with Downey. Like, that's like Downey's.
Well, he has the fancy one. He's got like the sharp edges. That looks cool to me. But like,
I like the mustache. Goatee. I prefer the mustache. Goatee is Doctor Strange.
That's fair. I was reading after I made the comparison about how he looks in the Avengers game when he has like the full beard and the long hair.
Like
like me, I pointed out that that's how he looked in Iron Man Ironmonger. You remember that? Where he's like, Rhodey is Iron Man and Tony's like, he's retired. He's got like the full beard, but it's like trimmed here, and he's got like the longer hair. That to me is such a good look for him. I never liked the long curly hair and the mustache. That one to me was always like, I didn't hate it, but I was like, wow, that is so 70s. But when he started getting flatter, like wavier hair instead of curly hair with the mustache, that was primo. Very Playboy billionaire.
Yeah, very. In the end, though, the whole point of this was him going back to being vintage, and at the end he deletes his Twitter account after his last tweet saying, I know that one of the 21 existing Gutenberg Bibles was destroyed in our battle with the unicorn, but there was really nothing I could do. And the comments are like, Iron Man sucks, is Hellcat single, and like a face app showing a fat Tony Stark is saying fat Tony in the house. Like, he's probably just looking at that phone, his phone at the tweet, like, why are we doing this?
My favorite panel from this issue is when he's first looking at his phone, and it's just him like sweating from this fight, looking at it, and he's just like, seriously, like, this is the stuff I do, and people just take. Yeah, that's literally my favorite panel from this issue. It's so good. That, and when he first suits up, those were the ones that were just so.
Does he have that armor in Iron Man 2020, the Extremis armor? Nope. So why is he wearing it then?
I'm not sure.
Well, this armor is
amazing.
So this armor first showed up. It was like first designed by Alex Ross when he was doing the Riri Williams one. But he didn't have any of that in Iron Man 2020. He was wearing like a dingy old like modified version of the Mark I silver suit.
Right.
And then he started wearing like the holotech, like hologram shield one that was like a whole.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
But actually, at the end of the issue, he does jump in it. But I'm pretty sure that was literally just
Yeah.
written in for setup for this. Like the last page is him flying off, like time to go make my life simple.
Time to relaunch. But it's like,
Yeah, that's literally it.
Hafu draw the extremis armor. I'm almost like, I kind of wish he had that one. Like, oh, dude, I love that. For me, that's like, that's what when I think Iron Man, I think extremis armor.
Top 3.
What do you guys rate the issue?
I remember
8.
I thought it was I would go 8 too. I think the only thing that's weird is I'm just wondering what they're gonna do with Hellcat. Like I remember when they announced Pat's like they're like our secondary protagonist, Patsy Walker, and I was like, the hell is this? Like
it's a weird choice. It's
out of the bag, out of the box character to pick. It's like
I really like how like her dynamic with Tony.
Yeah,
though.
I think she's really cool. I was just wondering like when was the last time Marvel did anything Hellcat?
Now, the December solicitation showed that she's still going to be part of the book. She's on the cover.
And you know what's funny about Hellcat? I think this is like a fun fact, but Patsy Walker Hellcat actually predates like the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Like she's like one of Marvel's first characters.
I just remembered something about this issue that needs to be brought up. How, like, I like this issue a lot. How dumb was the way they dealt with the Janet and Tony, like, breakup thing?
Oh, yeah, one page.
Oh, my God. She, like, rocks up in front of his thing. She's like, I have moved on. And he's like, I agree. And that's it. It was so, like, I don't like the Dan Slott series. You know my feelings. Like, I don't hate it. It's average. It's fine. You know, middle of the road completely. But I really liked their relationship in that. Especially now that, you know, her husband is an evil mixed android. Yeah, so just, I don't know, it was so strange. I know they want to go back to basics, but, like, it was so meaningless. It was just, I have moved on, goodbye. And he's just like, okay. And that's it.
Right. Like, I didn't even realize that was a breakup.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, they never officially broke up in his series because he was like, I think I'm synthetic. And then he went on a bender. And then when he came back and he was like, turns out I'm not synthetic. They were just kind of bantering. So you weren't sure if they were off or on. But then this is just like, I have moved on.
Yeah. What the heck? It's just
it was very weird. I remember I was like, you could have skipped that panel. Like it's implied. It could have been implied that they're not together. I don't think people really remembered they were together anyway.
Wow,
I forgot.
It's probably just me because I'm the only person who was reading Iron Man 2020 and Dan Slott's run.
I was absolutely not. I read Dan Slott's run, and I remember him and Janet being together. They announced that, and people were like, "How dare they take Janet and give him to?" I'm like, dude, they together.
Dated before.
Yeah, they were together before. One thing about Dan Slott, like you can critique him all you want, but he knows continuity.
Continuity, at least, yeah. Even if you don't like what he eventually does with that knowledge,
but he knows it like
he knows it.
That's
he's not. He doesn't just ignore stuff. Yeah. My favorite quote in this, and it was in the trailer, was that when he's up on the building with Hellcat, and he's like talking about what his life's kind of come to, and he's like, he says, it's easy at first. A man builds a suit, a man decides to help people. Then a man has a company, a mission, a vision, a brand, and soon a man has a reputation. Those things begin to crowd the picture, and soon it's hard for the man to see the man. That is some of the most Iron Man shit I've ever read. That was literally the moment that I went, oh, Christopher Canwell. Literally. That's such a good line. Although I don't know how I feel about the next page where Patsy goes, hearing a lot of man talk, and he goes, sorry, person. It was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
It's such a good quote. Like, that is literally the definition of his character, is the snowball effect of, oh, I have this power. Oh, I can make a suit. Oh, well, now I've got power and a suit. I need to help people. Oh, now I'm helping people. That's all I can do. The mission is first, and I need to help people. Oh, now I've got a reputation. If I don't help enough people, people are going to look at me and say, you don't help enough people. Just, that's such a good breakdown of the character. And that's the kind of stuff I always want to see in comics, where I'm like, I don't want to see just a character running around like kind of doing generic stuff. I love seeing characters look back and be like, what am I as an... Mm-hmm. It sounds so Jared Leto, but what am I as an idea? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To look introspectively and be like, well, this is I started here and now I'm here. Because for Tony, it's been 10 years. For us, it's been 60. So watching that like progress and him sum that up, it's so cool to see.
That's a good point. To him, it's been 60 years. For us, to him, it's been 10 years. For us, it's been 60. I ruined it. But I thought it was a cool
He's in his
quote,
hundreds right now.
I thought it was a cool quote. All right.
I think
Oh my God.
Batman.
they'll never say canonically. They'll never say canonically, but I'm pretty sure like the rule, air quotes, is every 4 years in real life is a year in the Marvel universe. So
Oh, okay.
it's been around 15 years.
There you go. Wow.
That's a good way
Peter
to put it.
Parker is like 29, 30.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is whatever age they want him to be because he was like 40 when he started. He should be late 50s, but nobody
Dude,
cares.
he looked
So-
20. He looked 20, like
Yeah.
7 in Dan Slott's run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now he's probably 30.
35-ish or so. 37. Yeah, exactly.
Sure, yeah. I'd say he's probably around 40.
Which is funny to me because I see his origin story happening when he's like 31.
Yeah, no, I in my head he was like 40 when his origin happened.
Yeah, so now he's just perpetually stayed that age.
I mean,
Yeah.
arc reactor, man, it does things.
Yeah, maybe.
Batman number 99 for our last comic, and then we could briefly say things about other comics that came out. But Batman 99 was the other big comic.
They have to stop putting things on the cover. It says Nightwing, the first Robin, the final ally. He has the entire Bat family in this one. The final.
Nightwing doesn't even suit up in the issue.
Bruce gives Dick Grayson the Nightwing suit, and he's like, cool, thanks. And then we don't see it. We don't see it ever.
It means issue 100 is going to look like absolute sex. It's going to be amazing. And they all rock up together and save Bruce. But that's kind of what this series
that we've
is.
seen already is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jorge Jimenez he's so good at art.
Oh my God.
Good.
I think
There's
he's
so
my
many
favorite
pages.
guy at DC right now.
There's so many pages in this book alone that could be like a computer wallpaper. I want this on my wall. Like when he drew
I
Gotham.
like
Dude, those last...
I don't know. You know.
Yeah,
which one?
those 2 pages
one?
that just have no... Yeah, those are the
no
ones.
dialogue.
Yeah, those are so good.
Just him arriving at Ace Chemicals. Story itself, I mean,
it's pretty bare bones, but
I've read
I
it
think,
before, I feel like.
Yeah, like I like Tynan. The thing about him is that not only is he getting this amazing artist, but he's writing a story we've seen before, but he has like a good control over these characters that it kind of feels new in a way.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously knows how to write these characters.
He knows them all, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love so much seeing Hunter be like, the story's fine, and then cut to like 6 weeks ago when he was so hyped and he was like, this could be one of the best Batman stories ever. I am so excited. And now he's like, it's pretty fun. Like, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, saying I'm disappointed is true, but I'm also enjoying it at least. Like, I'm not
it's not bad. It's disappointing in the sense that it's not as amazing as it was kind of hyped to be. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Harley is like the MVP of the story completely.
Absolutely. How good was she in this part? She
Boy.
was telling the audience what we're all thinking about. You need to stop. You need to break this cycle of just he gets out and kills her. Like it goes. Like I don't want Batman to snap his neck.
It's like a definitive Harley Quinn story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is a Harley Quinn story.
Yeah, because she even has her evil Harley Quinn punchline. Like, it's legitimately like a definitive Harley Quinn story, like one of the best for her character ever.
That is
I was glad to
really
actually
good
see
point.
Joker in this issue saying and doing any like he goes on like this massive kind of monologue. Do you remember that part where it's like it was showing the page that you showed before, Hunter, where it's across the city? And he's talking about, maybe the chemicals that bleached my skin infected me with the same thing that infects this city. It was really cool to actually see the Joker like thinking and being like deep and complex, because that's how I prefer the Joker actually. Like I always hate when people like he doesn't have a plan, he's just chaos, like he doesn't think things through. And I'm like, no, he says he's chaos and he doesn't think things through, but he's always got a plan. Like it's literally he's actually a very like a very well put together character when it comes to planning stuff out. He doesn't just go, I'm gonna just blow up an ambulance and then we'll just see what happens. Like that's what people think he is, but he's not at all. So
how do you think
that's a good point.
This is gonna go? I think
the Bat family's gonna all rock up and just punch him a bunch.
See, they keep showing this clown killer character.
Yeah, but clown
is
killer.
Is it possible? Because they keep talking about this moral dilemma of Batman killing the Joker. Is it possible he kills the Joker?
That I would love it, and that would explain
This
why he's not in
random
three.
character.
That would explain why he's
Yeah.
not in Three Jokers, because modern Joker is not in Three Jokers. They're all Jokers from the past.
So there's 4 Jokers. Oh my
Well,
god.
there is. Well, that's what I was saying. When I was talking about Three Jokers, that's what I didn't get. I'm like, there's 3 Jokers, but none of them are the modern one. Like, none of them reference. Like, you remember when they teased the 3 Jokers? One of them had the trimmed sides.
Yeah,
He looked like the one from
Endgame,
Endgame. But he's not in this. They're all ones from the past. So there is 4 Jokers, but maybe there is 3 because they killed this one. Tyler, I hope you're right.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Because that would make Clown Hunter like such a bigger character. Because right now he's just like, yeah, you know,
Because he's
I kill people.
They're building him up to something. I mean, he's got to be
That
doing
has to
something.
be what it is.
He
I think
is-
you've just spoiled it for us.
So the December
cracked the code.
solicitations show actually Batman watching him from a rooftop in one of the for like issue 103 or something like that. It shows Batman
think
like
this
stalking
character-
this guy.
If it's a slow burn, like Tynan builds up this character, I mean, it might be something really cool.
Man, you're
Like,
just
I don't want him to be
disappointed
like
everyone.
a Robin or anything, but
Oh god, no, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, picture this, right? He kills the Joker, right? And because you know how he doesn't talk much, like he doesn't really have any emotion, he kills the Joker, and then he I hate myself for this. He turns around with a big smile and he takes off the mask, and it's actually the Robin King, and then it just says to be continued in Death Metal 4.
wouldn't he get Death
Something
Metal
so
4, yeah?
absurd.
He gets-
Oh my
he
god,
would-
I hate that.
He would get Jokered, wouldn't he? And they
I
do
literally felt
Joker.
bad as I was saying that.
But imagine this, all right? So they've established this Joker thing as you kill him and you become the Joker. If they kill this Joker and then this new kid becomes the Joker, you have teen Joker. That'd be so stupid.
He's literally Joker 2.
Yeah. Just
Oh my
teen
God.
Joker, teen angsty Joker.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I hate that. I hate that so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's that.
I want to call JD right now and be like, "Hey, do you hate this?" 'Cause
Yeah.
he's the only one.
Oh my god, no, he
FaceTime
kills
him.
the Joker and then he goes sniff sniff, just like that
Oh.
legend. Yeah, oh my god, that was such a good
I
issue.
hated that.
Sniff
We're,
sniff.
Uh.
we're still thinking about this issue too, like this Legends of the Dark Knight issue.
Yeah, that was like
So it's like
month ago.
legendarily bad.
I don't like
Not
black
Legends
and
of the
white 'cause
Dark
you
Knight,
can't
you know,
see
Legends
the
of-
blood. The blood's so fake.
oh god, such a bad issue. This oh man. But this
This
issue
is good,
alone,
though.
that Clown Hunter theory is really freaking good.
Yeah, I think
I think
you're 100% right.
I
That
think
has
you're
to be
right.
right.
If it's not, I'll be disappointed.
What about Zombie Alfred?
Yeah. a little
Oh
odd
yeah,
there.
wow.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with it because I feel like Alfred could be brought back. Remember in Injustice when Alfred dies?
It looks very dead.
Oh, he's so dead.
Okay,
His neck-
yeah. Well, in
like a
Injustice,
caterpillar.
Alfred dies, and then put him in the Lazarus pit to bring him back, and then he's like
Yes,
kind
they
of like
do.
he's
And then
like
he leaves.
zoned out. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't think, he doesn't move, like he just kind of sits there. I
He
kind of wonder.
literally leaves. He's like, "Sorry, Bruce, I've just got to go." And Bruce is like, "But we brought you back."
He's just like, yeah, but I don't.
And
You
peace
know.
out.
You know,
Yeah, no, I
Tenants
didn't agree
playing
to
in
this.
theaters.
He's
or-
like, "Nah." He's like, "This whole Batman thing, no, man." He just
I didn't agree to this, bro. I died, and that meant I was dead.
Yeah, it's like,
I fulfilled my contract to Thomas
Yeah.
Wayne.
You just have me sit in this chair, bro. Like I just want to skate, man. Alfred just skates off, does like a
I just want to
kickflip.
skate in heaven. That's heaven for Alfred.
Puts a helmet on and knee pads, and he's just like, sometimes you just got to grind, and he just like rails.
But,
out of
but the helmet is
Wayne
the
Manor.
clown killer helmet.
It's got bat ears.
Oh my god.
So yeah, man. Some people just gotta skate. You want to be a bat? Go be a bat, man. But don't involve me. But we brought you back, Alfred. Cool. You know.
Yeah, cool.
Do I owe
Thanks.
you
I
something?
guess I can skate more. Yeah.
Like, you want me to pay you? Sorry, bro. No. Like, appreciate it, but I'll be. You can follow me on Instagram and all,
Yeah.
but
You follow my fitness journey, but like I,
Oh my god.
but like I,
But hey, man, I just
yeah.
I gotta go. Sorry. You said your name was Bruce, right? Okay. Well, text me, I guess,
It's-
but don't
see ya,
not
I guess.
often. Like I might not reply if you text me often, but if you text me on there, like I'll keep.
I don't like the radiation. Like I don't know if you've heard, but the radiation that gives off your phone, it's very harmful to your brain. And I like to decompose once a day with a nice kombucha and and like a swim.
You know where Gotham City Skate Park is? You can find me there on weekdays after 6 though. I like to skate when the sun goes down, but not when it goes fully down because I can't see. I don't know why I'm making Alfred sound like this. He's British and
Dude,
he's old.
there is a timeline that exists where I never rejoined and you guys just talked about comments like normal people.
Yeah.
But I put one theory out and you guys for just like 2 minutes. Just like, yeah, you know, gym life, you know. Sure,
Yeah.
you're a flying bat, but the only dude I subscribe to that flies is Tony Hawk, man. So
Yeah, you may have wings, but I have a Red Bull. So.
Can you do the 900? I don't think so. He's just
pop
like, wait,
shoving.
he's like Joe Rogan. He's like, hey, Bruce, I'm just going to pull this up. And he shows him the video of him doing the McTwist with the milk. He's like, bro, I
love that
live
video.
for that.
I love it.
I'll be honest with you. The first time I watched it, I didn't notice the milk. And that's why I was so unimpressed by it. I was just like, okay, he just did a flip.
You did the Tony
then
Hawk thing.
But I didn't notice the milk. I was just like, okay, he's just done a trick. I was like, oh, okay.
Now it's gonna be more impressive. But anyways, this issue, Zombies and Alfred. I don't know where we or zombies and Alfred's a zombie.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, I'm
Wow.
Zombies and Alfred.
yeah. Last thing I want to talk to you about is DC is aware in this issue. Harley calls Red Robin Duck Boy.
Duck Boy.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys get that? It's because
Drake.
yeah,
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
oh, I love that. I love that they did that.
I'm
I
go-
posted a video on my YouTube channel,
And
which I don't post videos on there often. When it was announced that he would be called Drake, and it was literally just me screaming.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. So I'm glad.
I
they're
like
back to
that
Red
Tim's
Robin.
like Duck Boy. Like he
Yeah.
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
get
genuinely
it.
like, what? Yeah,
It's
that's
the
great.
most dangerous bird ever, or whatever.
I do love the fact that he thought it was this really cool name, and now
Drake.
like people kept pointing out how dumb it was, and now people in universe are pointing out how dumb it is, but he still doesn't get it. That is so funny to me. Like, I hope it's a joke that just
I want to know
It
where
is-
Harley heard this.
Well, he was publicly calling himself Drake, and then
I
Impulse.
like
was
Harley's on the
Drake.
Harvey's watching him. Harley's watching him like. And she Googles Drake, and she's like,
Just sees
It
a picture
just-
of a duck.
it comes up with Drake the singer, like, and she's just
Yeah.
like, that's not the right Drake.
yeah, why'd he name himself after like Drake the rapper?
Well, even then, that name came from
His last name.
no, not even his last name. He thought of the name because an evil version of himself from an
Oh,
Earth
that's
3 who was
right.
murdering kids was like, I call myself Drake.
And he was
Drake's just
like, that's kind of cool.
yeah, and he
That's
literally said,
badass.
Drake, that's pretty good. And he's like, yeah, you know, most dangerous bird. It's like, yeah, it is.
No,
And
no,
then-
no.
And
I
then he
heard,
broke into that kid's back cave and took his brown suit. Like, yeah. Like, first off, Bendis, did you think that was a good name?
There's
And then you
children
thought it was
on
a
the
good
costume.
idea for him to take it from a villain? That's like what if Batman meets Owlman for the first time. It's like, Owlman, that's pretty good. And then he
that's
takes
badass.
his suit. And people
No,
are like,
it'd be
hey, Batman,
if
why are
Owlman's
you...
name was Wayne. If Owlman's name was Wayne,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was Wayne, that's pretty good. And he was just Wayne.
And then he wore the Owlman suit. It's like, hey, why are you calling yourself Wayne? It's like, oh, because a person that kills people on another Earth called himself that, and I wear a suit now because I said that's pretty good when he said his...
The complete
Wayne.
antithesis of me, a murderer. I'm gonna take that name.
yeah.
I heard this is a tangent, but apparently the original plan with Tim Drake, I heard this from someone that
It's gonna be evil or something.
they were gonna make him Blue Beetle.
Oh,
He was gonna replace Ted Cord,
interesting. What happens?
like
to
in the
Homie?
'90s or whatever.
Oh,
This was-
okay.
Oh,
like,
okay.
originally with Tim Drake, he was gonna be Blue Beetle.
Oh, before Jamie came in.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's kind of cool. Like
That
that's
kinda
kind of an
works, bro.
interesting thing to do
Hunter and I are the different ones. Hunter calls him Jamie, and I call him Jaime.
Jaime. Yeah.
I don't know which one's right.
I think
but
it's
go
I
with
think
Jaime.
it's Jaime. Jaime
Is it
Reyes.
Jaime? I thought it was
Yeah.
Jamie. Oh, well, there's a J.
I do the same. I do the same thing with Jorge Jimenez.
I was
Whenever
about to
I
say
see his
that.
name, I go George, and then I go, "It's not George."
It's Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah, well, J is silent. Like,
Yeah.
White guys and pronunciations do not go together
Jesus.
well. We are terrible.
Yeah.
I can barely pronounce my own name at times. I tried to tell someone what my personal Instagram handle was in a group chat, and I misspelt it. I can't even spell my own name right.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny because when we first started this podcast, JD and I, we set up our iTunes so you could review, and one of our first reviews was a negative review, and the reasoning was because we don't pronounce names right.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we were calling
That was
Ryan
Harper.
as George, and yeah, that was Harper. And I think we were calling like even I'm gonna mispronounce his name right now. James Tinian. Is it Tinian or Tynian?
I think it's
Tynan. Yeah, we think it's Tynan, but every time I'm on, I say Tinian Tynan because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And then Kevin Feige or Kevin Feige. Which one is it?
Feige, yeah.
Feige.
Yeah,
See,
I know it's
I think
Feige
comic
now.
book writers and artists are
Feige.
hard sometimes because they're just printed on the thing. Like when
They're
you hear
hard.
about an actor like Joaquin Phoenix, you know what I mean? If you saw his name, you'd be like Joaquin Phoenix. But like everyone knows that because we've heard his name before.
Yeah.
But how often do
Well,
you hear
I mean,
someone
it's-
say Jaime Reyes? Or
It's
do you
the
just
same thing. Yeah, like when characters are written, I don't know if you ever run into this when something is written on the page for so long and you only ever read it until you have to actually say it out loud. Like
I've done
Raz
that
Al
before.
Ghul or Raish Al Ghul.
Al Ghul, yeah, I'm a
Like
Raish.
it's, you know what I mean? It's like, what is it? Because you've never said it out loud. You've only read it in your head.
Absolutely, yeah. And even then, like, you just kind of invent it being like Tinian or Tynan, for God's sake. I always just read it as Tinian now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I did
Even
too.
though I
I've
know
always-
it's not, at this point, I'm just like, I can't, man. I try. I did the same with, is it Kafu? I think I said Kafu in my video.
I think it is Cafu.
Granted, that one's an acronym at least. Like it's each letter is a letter of his like full name. His name is like Carlos something. So at least that
Yeah.
you can fudge that. But like mispronouncing an actual author or writer's name, I just feel so terrible. I'm like, I'm sorry, Jorge. I didn't know it wasn't George.
I remember Tynan or Tinian. I remember one time they named a street after him in Gotham, and he
You were just like-
he tweeted something like, "See, this is the problem." He tweeted something like, tourists call it Tynan, but it's really called Tinin, and it's whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure his name is Tinin, and he's like, tourists call it Tynan, the street." And it's, I remember him tweeting that, and I was like, all right, finally, we have.
I'm adding an extra syllable to it then.
Tinian, yes.
Yeah, I go
Yeah,
Tinian.
I have it too. Yeah.
Really?
Well, now we know. But it makes
Yep.
sense. Like if you don't hear their names, even you can go back like 2 years on this podcast when Joaquin Phoenix was announced that he was playing Joker. I think I did say Joaquin. But I've seen like one of my favorite romance movies ever is Her. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I've seen a lot of his movies, but I've just never heard his name said before, I guess.
For the longest time, like this is when I was a kid. Probably up until the age of 13. So I should have known better. Every time I read the word censored, censored.
Yeah.
I read censored as like concerned. Like it was just absolute garbage gibberish. But like, it's so weird. I'm so like, it's funny that we all are like, we've read thousands of books from different writers, all this different literature, and we're like partially illiterate like most of the time. Like,
so you would like watch a show or something, someone was swearing, they bleep it out, and you like concerned about.
I remember when it was was it Tony Hawk Underground 2? Bring it back to the
yeah, I love that.
When you go to I think when you go to Mardi, like the Mardi Gras map, girls will like lift up their tops and it'll have concerned censored over there. And that was when I saw it, and I was just like,
that's what they look like.
Dude, I learned how to spell water because when my dad played football, the dude who ran out onto the field had water on the back, and I went, "Oh, that's how you spell water." Like I didn't know.
And that was when Harper was like 21.
This was last year, yeah.
So that's how they spell water. I've been doing it with a silent J all my life.
me applying for a teaching job after getting my degree, just like, I recently just learned how to spell water.
I tell you what, some guy was running down the field.
Like, what's your favorite drink? And you're like sweating. You're like, oh shit, how do I spell this?
It's
water
that Key and Peele sketch. Oh my god.
Batman 99. I give it a 9 out of 9.
Oh yeah, he's wearing the suit. He's wearing the
blue suit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Joker's wearing the.
I do like how earlier in it he's like, "This looks absolutely ridiculous," and it does when he's wearing it. But I just love that he.
Yeah, because you see like the bat nose, and his nose kind of like goes underneath it, and I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was really good for what it is. I loved Harley Quinn in this, which I usually don't like
Mhm.
Harley Quinn. So yeah, good issue. I'm excited for issue 100.
I'll go.
I'd probably give it an 8 as well, like same as Iron Man. Like I think I enjoyed Iron Man more on a personal level, but like this issue, there wasn't a lot of stuff I disliked. I just wasn't like super involved or attached to it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing stood out to me as egregiously bad. I just remember like reading it and going, "Oh yeah,
That was good. Yeah.
I think
okay."
I think I'll go 8 or 9 as well. I really did like it.
Okay.
I think the story's gonna read amazing in trade.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It'll be great in
definitely.
one
It
sitting.
actually feels like one just massive length kind of issue. Like,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
break in between almost kills it a little bit for me.
I'll just quickly say Justice League 53 was cool. It's the start of this Metal tie-in that they kind of did in first Metal, where it was like Nightwing leading a small team. He's doing that again, but his team so far is Hawkman, and yeah, or sorry, not Hawkman, Hawkgirl,
Hawkman.
and Nightwing, and
His team consists of Hawkman. Yeah, so that's the team.
it's Hawkgirl actually, Nightwing and
Yeah, it
Detective Chimp. That's it so far.
Yes,
They have like the
nice.
fantasy style. They have swords and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
And
Spider.
a special appearance
This is
of
Norman
someone.
Osborn. Oh right.
Oh yeah.
Who
I don't
did
know
appear
if you
at
want
the
to
end?
say that.
Yeah, you say it. I don't even remember.
Scar-faced bit. No one cares
Yeah,
about spoilers.
Luther.
Yeah,
Luther
Lex Luthor
appears,
rocked
and
up.
he's just like, "Hey guys, you remember when I was bad?"
I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I
Lex
was trying to
Luthor
keep it
appears.
vague because I didn't know if you wanted to do spoilers in like the just quick run through sections. I was just like,
yeah, I'm just
yeah,
doing...
Scarface bald man, you know.
No, Dr. Savannah. Yeah.
Yeah, Savannah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Lex Luthor came. He has a scar. He says like, "Hey, I became Apex Lex, and here's a recap of Justice
That's
League."
literally all it is. He just rocks up and he goes, I am Lex. And they're like, we hate you. And he's like, well, this is my journey.
Perpetua was a thing. I was a little bit obsessed, but now here I am. I'm cosplaying Dr. Savannah.
Yeah.
There's no Comic Cons open at that right now, but you know. The Amazing Spider-Man Sins of Norman Osborn. Holy crap! Read this comic. It's so good. Harper, did you read it?
No, I don't read
Yeah, I was
spoilers. You
gonna
know that
say,
about me.
I was gonna say.
Do you not remember in the chat the other day when I said I've literally
Yeah.
I've never read a single Spider-Man run. I've read 2 issues of Spider-Man Noir, and I've read 2 issues of Spider-Man from like the 80s, and then I read
Spider-Man
one
Noir?
crossover of Spider-Man in like 2012. So I've read
Spider-Man
5 issues.
Noir.
Well, basically,
Why did you read Spider-Man Noir?
yeah.
I actually, honestly, I say 2 issues, but I think I did finish the series. I just don't remember.
That book
Okay.
sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
Anyways, in this issue, it basically is revealed, hey, Sin Killer's coming to kill Norman Osborn, or well, Sin Norman Osborn, they call it.
Yeah, the Sin
During
Killer.
that,
I think Harper dropped again.
yeah, well, thanks for trying to start for this ending. Can I spoil this for you, Tyler? Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay, well, spoilers for Sins of the Spider-Man. Basically, Norman Osborn has someone like captured, and he's just like, "This is my ultimate weapon," and it is Juggernaut of all people. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. They don't explain how he got him, but he has Juggernaut.
The Sin Eater got him.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Norman Osborn had him like
In the prison?
in like a prison, yeah.
Okay.
But the issue ends with basically the Spider-Verse teaming up to take down Spider-Man. So basically, Madame Web, Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, Spider-Ghost, if you want to call her that.
Ghost Spider.
Yeah, Miles Morales. They all team up, and they're just like, "Hey, we're gonna stop Spider-Man." And they became a team. They had a team name and everything, and they're gonna be appearing for Spider-Man for the next 10 issues at least. Their team name is the Order of the Web, which is a pretty cool name.
I think that's kind of silly.
I don't mind it.
Who named that? Was that Madam Web that said that?
Madame, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I knew it. That's
Literally.
like I was gonna say Miles wouldn't call them the Order of the Web.
Yeah, so Madame Web said, this is the first meeting of the Order of the Web. We are officially formed. And Miles was the
hilarious.
first person to reply, and he says, "Oh man, a team name and everything. This is the worst."
Yeah.
That's what he said at the end. So they're going to be appearing for the next few arcs in Spider-Man. And
I think starting issue 50, right? 50 is when Norman Osborn's back, or Green Goblin is back, right?
yeah, so the end of this issue, they actually showed this, like Norman Osborn going to the suit, and him telling Spider-Man, like, if we want to get through this, we gotta.
I wonder when they're gonna show, or they're gonna reveal Kindred. I really
hoping
want
next
to
issue.
know. Yeah, I really want to know. It's 850, right? Yeah.
Next issue is 850. /49. So it's the 49th one in Spencer's run, but it's 850 for the legacy number. It's going to be double sized, I think. So it's the finale of this arc, but after they're going to go technically Peter Parker versus the Order of the Web is going to be the next arc. So
that's cool.
We'll see what happens there.
Cool.
And Harper just messaged me saying he should be back quick, but that's the episode.
Oh no.
So maybe he might appear for the outro, or maybe he won't. So thanks for listening. If you're here on iTunes, please make sure to give a 5-star reviews if you like us, or don't. You know, if you think we're trash, go for it. Or we don't get paid for this. So we just do this for fun. You know, thanks for tuning in every week. If you don't tune in every week and this is your first time, thank you for listening. Maybe you enjoyed, maybe you didn't. Usually JD is here with us. Usually Tyler and Harper actually appear every once in a while. Tyler, you might be here next week if you want.
I don't think speed metal is my thing. I know Daredevil comes out next week, but I'm gonna leave the Flash, I think, to you guys.
Okay, Harper.
I don't think I could stand hearing about the Flash for so long.
Good. Yeah, we'll be talking about it for a while. Next week we'll be talking a lot of speed metal. We'll be talking a lot of Daredevil as well, because those are the big comics out next week. Speed metal being the death metal tie-in that features the Flash family. Harper will be back joining us. Hopefully not just all of a sudden leaving the call here and there, but yeah. For a hero story, I'm Hunter.
And I'm Hunter.
Yeah, this is Tyler. Thanks for joining us. And I'm Hopper, mate. And my headphones just came unplugged.
Oh man.
It's funny, as I was doing the outro, I just kicked my headphone out of my
Is it still recording or?
Yeah, it's still recording. So thanks for joining us.
Okay, yeah. I was like, what just happened?
My mic just went unplugged. I'm bad at this. Usually JD's the guy who does this part.
The outro guy?
Yeah. Thanks for being a hero. I remember every second is a gift.
Every second is a gift.
Goodbye. Goodbye, mate.